Hello.
Hello, welcome to flak.
We are
We are,
back.
yeah, we've had a little bit of trouble this morning, but what else is new? Anyway,
Technical difficulties.
yes, I wanted to let everybody know, since this is largely a fandom enterprise, that I spoke with Craig Anderson a couple of days ago, and he's holding it together as best he can, and it looks like Linda died of a heart attack, and she'd been having some heart and lung issues for a while, and she was
Linda
only 7.
Hamilton?
What's that?
Linda Hamilton?
No, 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 no.
Oh.
Linda Anderson.
Oh, okay. Well,
Craig
because you said the
Anderson.
last name Hamilton, I thought you said.
No,
Okay.
no, Linda
Scared
Anderson.
me.
Well, Linda was a great lady and an old friend, and
Well, I'm
she
sorry
uh,
to hear that.
she was only 70. She was way too young, but anyway, we send our thoughts to Craig and the whole family, the boys, and her many friends. And now we'll get on to the usual format. We're going to talk a little bit about a new episode of the all singing, all dancing Strange New World.
I liked it. A lot of people are critical of it. I liked it. I thought it was inventive,
Yeah.
something different. And lot of the people sang that I don't think are used to singing. But now they have something now you may not be familiar with. It's called auto
Auto
tune.
tune. Yeah.
And what they can do is you can sing and they can adjust the tone of your singing to where it matches the other people that are singing, so you sound like you're in harmony.
Well,
Whereas if
two
you go ahead.
two things that they usually will instruct you in when you first start as an actor is dance and singing. And because before you know it, you're going to have to do one of those things. And to those of us who sat in the audience and saw Paul Darrow sing uh, as Elvis, it's clear that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But in actually, Paul wasn't bad. But in the episode, I especially liked the beginning of it when Spock starts singing, and he was sort of the perfect person to start that out. And I agree. I thought it was very inventive. I thought it it's a way of giving an encapsulated view of the character that you don't get with just standard, stuff, that they normally say during a track episode of whatever kind. And I was very impressed with the young actress, the British actress. I thought she was quite good, and her scene was internalized. And anyway, it was good stuff.
Yeah, I
And
was I was showing my daughter Allison the
I know
episode.
Allison. We've met.
Well, yes, but the people out there
I know.
beside you
I'm joking.
don't know. And she was very fond of it. She watched it, and so did John, her husband, and they both liked it. And, it was kind of funny. I says, that lady right there is the one that was in X Men as the naked blue lady. and I forget her name on the movie, but I remember seeing it. She did an interview with Jay Leno on the Tonight Show, and she was talking about it, about how difficult it was to do that movie because she said she was stark naked during most of the film. She wasn't wearing a
A
G
bodysuit.
string or anything. They just
Ah,
put makeup on her, and she says, she says, knowing I was naked, it was difficult sitting there chatting with people, you know, and she says after a while and seeing the film, you couldn't see any body parts. You could just see the shape. You know,
yeah.
she says that the hardest part was the very last scene where she turned human.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that one? And she
Yeah.
wasn't blue anymore. She was just
Person
a
colored.
person, and she was naked. And she said that was the hardest scene to do because I didn't have any makeup on, so I was just naked. And yeah, it was pretty interesting seeing her talking about that. But I like her on the show. She's matured
Yeah.
and she's one of my favorite people on the show. She was off of there for a little while because she was in prison. Not really in prison, but
Oh,
on the show in prison.
oh, that's good. So we have Orville coming up pretty soon. They're in production, so we have another year of Orville arming up.
well,
And
well, if you want to discuss Orville, I'll have to start watching it again.
okay, it actually is
the,
quite good. I mean, I'm really critical of science fiction shows, and that one I'm very fond of. So
like I said, I'll have to start watching it again. Uh, the one where the robot people were taking over the world, and the one that's part of their crew turned into a bad guy. Well, he
he
was for an
appeared to,
episode,
yeah.
yes. And I stopped watching it after that. I just click. You know.
Well, it's no longer just funny. There are more, but then again, they have episodes where Dolly Parton's music has become the rallying call for this planet of women, and they're standing up
Oh,
and
that's
they're
right, nine to
reciting.
five or something.
Exactly, they're reciting 9 to 5, and all the other people are looking at each other like trying not to laugh. But in their eyes, that's a strong statement. But Dolly, of course, has a sense of humor, so they actually got her on an episode.
Oh,
She appeared as a hologram of herself, of course.
I think I saw something about that. I didn't see it, but I think I saw them talking about that.
Anyway, the Skinwalker Ranch just absolutely pulled everything out of the closet and threw it at the screen. And that was astonishing.
Yeah, they
And
certainly brought a lot of equipment out. The last two episodes are pretty much like part one and part two.
yeah,
You need to watch both of the last episodes together because there's a lot of stuff involved that
yeah,
you
I
need to see.
it's especially when in Travis Taylor, concluding his opinion that there's a wormhole there because there's a lot of structure you have to go through to get to that point. And the I think he makes a very strong case for it. So it'll, of course, we'll never hear about it if it's verified, but at least we know something.
I don't, knowing a little bit about the structure of wormholes, I don't know if it's possible to have one actually that close to the face
Not
of the
by
earth.
our understanding, no. But some civilization that is 100,000 years ahead of us, they probably
Maybe.
have them in a little gym bag.
But with our understanding, that's not possible. So
Right, exactly.
something different could be going on that we're not
Well, yeah.
understanding.
Well, that's
So
pretty much what he said, is that, this, it seems like that, I mean, if you look at the layout that they have there, there's a blank area that has nothing, according to the LiDAR. And then there's the wormhole. So who knows? They may be, broadcasting it out of via some technology that we know nothing of. So, but it's a fascinating thing, and I think next season, from what I understand, especially since the neighbors have joined the insider list, they're
the
telling us,
neighbors,
yeah,
your neighbors or their neighbors?
their neighbors, the Ute, not Ute, the other tribe.
Navajo?
No,
It's the
they're
Utes
like
and the
4 or 5
Navajos are the
smaller
two.
tribes. The next door neighbor tribe, they're posting and going, "Oh boy, wait till you see what they do this year." So, going to be interesting, if nothing else. And the the whole thing about the underground complex, that that's what they've been drilling into, and obviously it was created by other people from other places, because we just don't have the technology to have a frictionless web surrounding something so that you can't drill into it. And and they're saying that from the structure of it, it might be ancient.
Yeah,
So,
I saw that article. I think you saw the same article I did,
mm-hmm,
where they showed an image of what the mesa would look like if they took all the rocks away,
mm-hmm,
and it's this like ancient uh, castle or something under there.
exactly. It would look really weird, and I think that's what Bigelow, the reason he threw in the towel and got out of there, is he figured it was way beyond what he wanted to deal with. But thankfully, Brandon Fugel has more guts than, than Bigelow does.
sorry, sorry, I'm yawning. I was taking a nap right before the show.
That's quite all right. And had the same mission this morning. Unfortunately, I didn't accomplish it. But the that's when my messages start going off. Bing, bing. But anyway,
Sorry, one was probably me.
yeah, might have been, but it wasn't the main
Oh.
thing. I had 3 or 4 people who were letting me know. Did you know there's a wormhole on Skinwalker Ranch? No kidding. I wouldn't have known. But anyway, and bless them, I'm just teasing them so they know I'm joking with them. But the there's also there's so many things there. And if you saw the Beyond Skinwalker Ranch episode, which dealt with orbs essentially,
I
and
haven't seen that because it doesn't contain any of the people off of Skinwalker
yeah, it
Ranch.
has. Yeah.
The thing I saw was other people
Well, it
altogether.
has two other people who are doing the exterior stuff, but it's Travis Taylor and Eric Bard are both on the show,
Oh,
and they look at all of the data that they bring to them. So it's interesting because it's always in contrast to what's going on the ranch, and they've had some really weird things. You know, it's stuff you hear about, but they never talk about it on TV because our uh, omnipodaddies want us kept stupid. So,
I noticed there's another episode. It's something ranch, and it's like the name of people, and they're trying to push into the
oh, Carl
skin,
Crusher. Yeah.
and because they're doing rockets and they're a lot of the same stuff they're doing on Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah, he's trying to launch he lives near there, and he's trying to launch his channel off of Skinwalker Ranch.
Well, you know, folks, me and Melanie almost bought a ranch up there. We were thinking about it.
Yep.
There was a small, like, I think it was 12 acres or something like that. And it actually borders Skinwalker Ranch to the north. So I was thinking, hey, that would be cool. We ought to buy that, and we we could start our own show. But we never did it.
And then across, just across town, there's a trailer park that's for sale. And I still wonder if it wasn't the people in the park going, son of a bitch, where is it? It's over there. So,
well, you know, remember that's what I was talking about doing with that ranch is building some cabins.
Yeah.
Putting like 8 or 10 cabins and rent out the Skinwalker experience.
Yep.
Well, and let people stay there.
There's a UFO camping center near there.
Yeah, there's all over the place. In Roswell, there's a dozen of them.
Yeah, well, there's one near Skinwalker Ranch, and it's been there for ages. So you just know. Now they're all over the place. But,
well, make all the cabins look like UFOs.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a good idea.
And the thing to do would be to put in some electronics and have things happen at night so the people see it and don't tell them you did it.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that. No.
Radio controlled UAPs.
I have a friend who owns a castle in Ireland, and Nick, who knows who I'm talking about. Nick said, okay, well, I'm good. You know, it has to be haunted, of course. And I said, well, I imagine it is. He said, oh, yeah, it's haunted, but I'm going to make sure it is. And it's like, are you kidding? I said, no, I'm going to have it wired. We're going to. Like, that's horrible. No, you don't do that.
There was a movie about that where a guy bought a castle and he was doing that.
Yeah.
And, you know, but he didn't go to electronics. He like hired people to walk around and then come to find out it really was haunted and the ghosts agreed to help him
Yeah,
scaring the people. Do you remember that? It was a comedy, I think.
yeah. I think yeah, I
It
do.
seems like it had Don Knotts in it, but I don't think so.
It might have. I don't. I don't remember. I know. Peter O'Toole did something like that once, where he has this wonderful line. You know, any line he had, he made splendid. But he says, "What do you mean? This just bricks falling all over the place?" I did it no good at all. It was far better in his mouth, but um, it's it was a similar film to that. So yeah, there's probably lots of people out there doing that shit, but you know, one would hope for better things. Anyway, did I hear a kiddo in the background?
I heard somebody bang on the door, but then they went away. I don't
Oh,
know.
uh,
Connor's
the
in a good mood today. He got a good
good,
night's sleep.
good. That's
Let me bring something up here because we were
okay.
going to discuss this. And okay, this is a statue of Walt. That isn't what I was going to discuss with you. This is in California Adventure. Walt Disney, by the way, not some other
I figured
Walt.
it was Walt Whitman.
No,
Yeah.
there's California Adventure. Also, that's Cars Land. That's the mountains back in the background on
Or
Cars
as we
Land.
used to call it in the old days, the parking lot.
Yep, that used to be the parking lot. So did this. This used
Yeah.
to be the parking lot also.
Yep.
All right, this is what I wanted to talk to everybody about. I've been going to Disneyland for a very long time, since I was a kid. And Walt Disney, one of the things he wanted was that every time you went to the park, he wanted it to look like it just opened. Now, if this right here is a picture of one of the rides at Disneyland. This is called the Astro Orbiter. And it used to be up on top of the People Mover, and now it's down where the entrance to Tomorrowland is. And as you can see, it's filthy.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
And all over the place, you can see footprints, dust, dirt, where they haven't cleaned this thing for a long time. I mean, you can see it.
You'd think
You
that
can,
was Magic Mountain.
yeah, I know, no kidding. So anyway, that's my problem with them. That's me. Aren't I beautiful? All right, let's see. Remove. Okay, there we go. And I went in after I saw that the first time. What you're supposed to do if you have a complaint or something, you're supposed to go to town hall and go in and you're supposed to register a complaint.
Right.
So I went in and I registered a complaint about how dirty that ride was. And I came back a week later and it was no different. Looked just exactly like it did in that picture. So the second time I went up to the closest cast member and I said, I would like to see the manager of this area, please. I would like to see who is in charge of this area. And this young guy's, well, that would be me. And I said, well, I'd like to see your boss, please. Because this guy was not a manager.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
19
So,
years old. Yeah.
right. So they brought this guy out. He was kind of young, too, but I believe he looked like he was in management. So he says, what's the problem, sir? So I showed him. And he says, well, they get dirty. We cleaned them that night. And I says, this has looked just like this for a week. Well, how do you know that? And I says, I'm a pass holder. I'm here all the time. This was just this filthy a week ago. And I complained and they did nothing about it. So he kind of passed me off. So I went over to another cast member wearing a red vest, and they're usually a lower level of management. So
Yeah.
I got a hold of one of them, and I said, "Look," and that guy was still hanging around. I said, "See that guy right there? He told me he's the big boss of this area. Is he?" And she said, "Well, not really." And I said, "Well, that's who I want to see. I want to see the person that if he comes walking in here, you start working harder." I said,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's who I want to see. So they brought me this lady, older lady, and she come in, and I went over and I showed her, and she said, "How long has this been like this?" And I said, "Well, it's been this way at least a week." I says, "But it looked this bad a week ago, so it's probably been for months." And she says, "You come back in a week, I'll make sure it's taken care of." So I did come back, and it had been cleaned. I'm not saying it had been
It wasn't
waxed,
perfect, but
but it's cleaner now than it was. I didn't take any pictures, but it is cleaner now than it was.
yeah.
Now, I notice in a lot of lands, things that used to be freshly painted every time you went are now all scraped up, and there's holes, and it's just, I mean, let's look. I like Knott's Berry Farm, but Knott's Berry Farm is not kept up on the level
No.
of Disneyland. It should be, but it's not.
It used to be.
It used to be much better.
Yeah.
Walter Knott was good at keeping the place up.
And the kids, the not children. But I think they're all but one is
Yeah,
either
there's
retired
one
or
that lives out by the beach
yeah.
and she has some involvement with the park. The Cedar, what's the name?
Oh yeah, what is it?
Cedar something is the company that owns Knott's
Cedar
Berry Farm now.
Grove, Cedar something, yeah.
Yeah, I started to say Cedar Rapids, but no, that's a city.
Oh,
But anyway, and whenever they have something like family involved, they usually try to drag one of the
yeah.
Knott's family
They're-
members in there.
Yeah. Well, the one that has the gift shop on the in the little store area at the front of the park before you get into the member section.
Virginia's?
Pardon? Yes.
Virginia's?
Yeah.
That's been there forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, one of the kids or grandkids runs it. And at least she claims to be. So the they still have some vestige of the original Knots in there, and but there are still Disney people who are involved with Disneyland.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stock. A lot of the stockholders, the big
Yeah.
stockholders, are Disney family.
Yep. And in
The
fact,
the number one shareholder of Disney is what's her name, Linda, Steve Jobs' wife.
yeah.
She is because Steve Jobs acquired a huge amount of Disney stock when he sold Pixar to Disney.
Right.
And Steve Jobs' wife acquired that when he passed away.
Right.
So she is the largest non-family member stockholder, I believe.
Right.
And next to them are the family members of Roy Disney, Walt Disney's daughters,
Yeah.
family, and so forth. I mean, like Rod Miller, Diane Disney Miller, Roy Disney, they're all gone.
Yeah.
All the ones that came in after Walt are all gone.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
But
I was a
there are
little
still
kid
some.
when. What's that?
I says there's still a few of the kids and
Kids.
relatives and family members that are involved in the park.
Yeah.
Roy Disney's son is the one that ousted Eisner.
Yeah. I wish he'd oust the person who's in there now.
Bob
Or at
Iger?
least, yeah, or at least the people underneath them. Somebody
I
needs
thought
to.
Iger did a good job when he first came in,
Yeah.
but bringing in, he's the one that brought in Pixar. He's the one and Disney was in trouble when Iger came in because they had lost their connection to Pixar, and Jobs was pissed off at Disney, and he he didn't want any part of it. He was going to just branch Pixar off and making movies on their own.
Right.
And and then Iger was smart. He went to the parks and he saw in the parades and everything that the characters that were real popular were all Pixar characters.
Exactly.
Woody and Buzz Lightyear and he realized that he better do something about that or there were going to be problems. All right, hey, I want to explain to everybody something. We're trying to get Melody's laptop up and going so she can use green screen. But Melody's had technical difficulties getting that to function.
Melody's a moron when it comes to hardware. Software I'm good with. Hardware.
So I'm going to make a trip up there in a week or two, and we're going to get that fixed so Melody can use her green screen. Because she went to the trouble of buying the green screen, and I bought her a laptop, and it just hasn't come about yet.
Yeah.
But it's gonna. So don't give up. We're gonna become technically more astute.
Well, seeing as how most podcasts look like they're being run on 2 tuna cans in somebody's garage.
Not always. There's a few of them that are pretty good.
Yeah, of course. But,
It would be nice if StreamYard, if you could use video in the background on StreamYard.
Yeah.
Why StreamYard doesn't step up and do that?
Money.
Well, maybe so, but there's a software called was it OBS or OBG? It's the object oriented.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to.
I read about
Hang on.
Oh, hi Nancy. I just saw Nancy.
Oh, I see a comment. Nancy Kersey. Yeah, she was on our show.
Yes, I know. She was Jonathan Frid's assistant for many years.
Yep, I remember her on our show. Hi, Nancy.
Yep. Nancy came into fandom the like a poor blind little kitten, not knowing where she was headed. It's like, who are all these weird people?
I got drug into fandom by my sister.
Yeah, it's true. But
Melody was I don't know if you were the president, but she was part of the operating system for the Bobby Benton fan club and Mitch Vogel.
All kinds of.
Mitch Vogel you may not be familiar with. He was on Bonanza.
Trust me, if you watched a Disney movie in the 60s and one of the characters had red hair, it was Mitch. If it wasn't Ron Howard, it was Mitch. But no, I did a lot of stuff with fan clubs, and of course Grayson's fan club, and
And I actually met Mitch Vogel
yeah,
because I drove Melody to one of the fan club things that he was at, and he actually walked out to the car and thanked me for driving my sister to the thing,
yeah,
which was nice.
he's a good guy. He is.
He was very polite. Never got to meet Bobby Benton or.
I only met him twice. I met Mitch a lot. I mean, but Bobby, he's like 140 now.
He's still alive.
Yep, he is.
I don't think he's singing
Still married.
anymore, but is he still singing?
Yeah, he's got a club in Branson.
Branson, Missouri.
Yep.
What is in Branson, Missouri? It's one of those poltergeist TV series.
Is it? Well, it's become a sort of southern Las Vegas with a lot of supper clubs and showcase clubs and that kind of thing.
Well, one of the guys that does a ghost TV series has his base in Branson, Missouri.
Oh, does he? Oh,
Because there was a theater there that was supposedly haunted, and they did one of those. They would stake out the theater and put all their little electronic devices trying to find the ghosts and
that kind of
so
thing.
forth.
Yeah. My gosh, that's even becoming respectable now. So.
Yeah, but most of that equipment, I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, quite frankly, I prefer to follow people I know on YouTube who go out and do investigations. They get stuff is real. It's not as wonderful and flashy as the stuff on TV. But yeah.
Well, you got that. What's that clown that I can't stand?
Zach
Tyler. Baby. No, Tyler.
Oh, Tyler.
The one that does the Blackwell Ghost.
Oh, that idiot
series.
He's not even. Nobody considers him, a legitimate person.
No, he's 100% fraudulent.
He is.
Okay? The whole show that got him started, which was that Blackwell Ghost #1. Yeah. If you do any check, there's a guy that debunks stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I forget what they call him. It's like the crystal debunker. He's got some kind of name.
Like
and he goes into quite a bit of detail on debunking these people. And that Tyler guy, he did this haunted hotel video that was absolute crap.
Yeah.
And this guy debunked him for that. And then he did this other thing where he was on an island with these other people, and all the other people disappeared, just vanished, and they couldn't find them. And then at the end, he's doing a video telling about what happened, and he's wearing the hat that one of the people that disappeared was wearing. So I was like, oh, wait a minute, where'd you find that hat?
No shit. Well, if nothing else, he inspired Steve Shippey to start making his own documentaries because he wanted to do it right. And
yeah, well, that Tyler guy, I forget it. I'll have to look up his last name, but that Blackwell Ghost.
Yeah.
The house that was supposedly haunted and was in Philadelphia that they did the video about actually is in West Virginia, and it belongs to Tyler.
Yeah.
It's his house.
Figures.
So, and he hired an actor to pretend to be the homeowner of the house.
Yeah.
And it's all just crap.
It is the whole thing, yeah. But
So if you ever get on Netflix and you see they got those Tyler, whatever his name is, and the Blackwell Ghost, don't watch any of those. If you get it for free and you want to watch it, and
don't.
keep in mind that it's just a movie, that it's not
Yeah, it's
a
fiction.
documentary. It's fictional.
And if you
You
want to
know, fine.
see a good documentary, go over to Amazon and do a search for Steve Shippey. S
I've
H I
watched his
P P
stuff.
Y.
His stuff is interesting.
Yeah, and it's legitimate. The some of the footage is so amazing that I know people who've gone through and done stop action things because it doesn't matter who you are and how much you're respected, they still doubt you. And he has been thoroughly cleared of being any kind of um, you know, fraud or fakery. So the Steve Shippey is the real thing. And let's see what is. I'm trying to
I
find
thought
this
you're,
idiot's name.
yeah, I thought you were looking for Tyler's
I
name.
am. I am. I'm looking for his name. Yes, I don't want to get him confused with anyone else. Let me try IMDb. My ghosty friends, we need our own IMDb.
Yeah, start our own.
No, because then Fanlore would start yelling that I'm back in fandom. Turner Clay.
Yep, Turner. That's right, not Tyler. Turner.
Yeah,
Turner Clay.
he has up to 7 now.
Yes, and the rest of them have to be just as fraudulent as the first one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 7 of them. You'd think at some point he'd go, let's try something else.
And even Amazon says that it's just hooey.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are very few people with as negative a persona as little
Turner
Turner
Clay.
Clay. Zach Bagans, for one. But I think Zach just sort of is his own worst enemy in that regard. He just doesn't come off very adroitly. But anyway, so where do we stand with Disney now? Is there any other Disney news?
Hang on just a second. I was off looking for Turner Clay fraud
Oh, okay.
information. Disney, it's hard to say. They're doing, they went whole hog into the Disney Pride stuff,
Yeah,
which is fine,
which is great. Yeah.
but they kind of went a little over the top on it. You know,
Well, when you don't do anything for 100 years and then suddenly we're trying to prove that we're okay, it's always going to be a little over the top, but better late than never. And
well, it's just I think there's lots of groups that deserve attention, not just gay people. There should have. There's all sorts of people that something that really annoys me is homeless veterans.
yeah,
We've got people that served the country and they came back over here and are living on the street
of
and
course.
can't eat. And if we're going to take care of people, we ought to take care of people.
Well, I don't think anybody is talking about taking care of gay people. They just want them recognized as
No, but
being.
you want. I think what they want is for them to feel included
Yeah, yeah.
in everything, and that's great. You should have that, but I think that you should take that big pool of money they have, and you should put it out to the people that need it in all different groups and help them.
Well, are you familiar with a YouTube channel called Mr. Beast?
No, I
You
am not.
should. That young man is brilliant. He created a channel that is all about getting traffic, people to watch it. And people watch it because at the end of the year, they want to see Mr. Beast give all the money away. He
And where
goes
does he
out
get? Where does he get the money?
from his sponsors. He has 108. No, he's got more than that now. He's got 200 million subscribers. So he has top of the line sponsors who come to him.
Now, what's
And
wrong with you, damn people? How come you aren't? How come we don't have 200 million people watching us?
that's because we're not interesting, Mark.
Speak for yourself, damn it!
Well, I'm sorry.
I'm interesting as hell.
Yeah, just ask Fan Lore. I'm way overrated. Anyway. It's a horrible thing. You work your whole life to be a good writer and then people hate you for it. Anyway, the Mr. Beast does amazing things, and there have been a lot of other channels that have been spun off of him. And there's one that goes out and finds homeless veterans. And they work in the system and get them homes. Mr. Beast does a lot of that too. He paid for this one guy had been 4 months behind on his mortgage. Mr. Beast came in, paid for 2 years of his mortgage, bought him clothes and food, and arranged for other funding and stuff. So he's always doing stuff like that. And that's what people should be doing. And Mr. Beast, mind you, makes a lot of money. And he's a kid. He's like 25, I think. And that's the kind of thing we can be doing. And
We're doing something wrong here.
yeah,
If he's 25 years old and has got 200 million people watching him, and he makes enough money doing it to help people, I'm sorry, but we're doing something wrong.
He doesn't just help people. He has his own food bank. He has...
Well, that helps people too.
Yeah. He goes into food banks and buys them all the stuff they need. He is constantly... I mean, just look up Mr. Beast. That's all you have to do. You'll see some of his regular things where his viewers say, I want you guys to spend a week on a raft in the middle of the ocean, And so they'll go out there and you'll think they're in the middle of the ocean, but you find out they've been, tied up to the
green screen.
Yeah, they're not going to be going in the middle of the ocean, but they're very entertaining. And then on top of it, they do all this great work. And I was just watching another thing today. A father and son team, they go out and they find people whose yards have overgrown. And, people with depression or illness or something. And they go in. The city calls them in and says these people are going to get a notice from a citation. from the city if they're not cleaned up. So they go in, they clean their yard up, and they help them with any kind of upkeep they need. And they do this, and they've got tons of subscribers, and they make a good living from doing that. And they have their own lawn business in addition to it. So
Now,
these are the things we can all do.
now to tell you something connected to that, my neighborhood, they have stopped maintaining the fences, sidewalks, and areas where the weeds grow up. The county has stopped maintaining it, so it just looks terrible. I went out and I bought 2 weed whackers, electric weed whackers. I bought 4 extra batteries, but I'm almost 68 and I really can't do it by myself.
Exactly.
So if there is someone in the unincorporated Whittier area that would like to come out and help me, we don't have to kill it, but go out on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon. You know, I still work, so I can't do it, all the time. But if you have interest in coming out and helping me, or if you have a truck, or you have a golf cart, or you have some equipment and so forth that you can help me do this, contact me. You can figure out how to contact me on Facebook. Send me a personal message or private message, whatever they call it, PM. And we'll get together and go out and do that. If you have a hankering to help your community, there you go.
There you go. And it can be the start of another channel like we were just talking about.
Sure, we could set up a camera and film us doing that, and show people, and then maybe we can encourage people in other areas that have the similar problem, because I want my neighborhood to look good. Because we're starting to have trouble with homeless people. Go in people's backyards. I had one go in my backyard, and I had to chase him off. And I don't want somebody. I'm not being mean.
No, you have grandchildren. No.
I don't know who this person is. I don't know what they've done. I don't know if they're criminals. I have no idea who this person is. So I really don't want people that I don't know living in my backyard. I really don't.
Of course not. No. We had a similar thing happen over on Fern in our old house. And we, of course, didn't have any kids in the house. So we didn't have any bushes or anything they could sleep under, but our neighbors on the corner, whom I called and told them, and they said, fine. I gave them a blanket, which we never got back. But, you can do that kind of thing. But, you can't endanger your family. No. And but there are all kinds of resources out there now. And at the same time, we need to, like they say, if you don't see it, you can't be it. So there's plenty of people out there who need representation, and there's plenty of old white women on TV. I don't think we need more of us, although now the older ones we do.
The only thing holding America together are the baby boomers.
Yeah.
Because we have different levels of interest in the government and in things being maintained like they are, having the police, having the military. We're the ones that want those things to still exist. And a lot of the younger people, they want to get rid of the military. And they want to get rid of the
don't
police.
Understand what they do.
Well, they want to get rid of the police in Oregon. And look at Oregon. Oregon's just falling apart. Walmart has pulled out of Oregon because they're stealing so much from their stores that they can't afford to stay open.
I know. Oregon, they've had a couple of slides. They'll bring you back around. And so
I got a kick out of that 7-Eleven one where the guy was ripping off the 7-Eleven, and the guy that owned the 7-Eleven went walking out there with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And the guy left all the stuff he was stealing and took off.
I hear you. Now, where are we in terms of time?
We have 1 minute.
Oh, okay. I was afraid we were getting up there.
Yep.
All
So
right.
go ahead. You sign off. I'll play the music.
Okay. Sounds good. So thank you guys. We're happy that you were here this week, and you see no politics.
No.
And well, maybe little bits, but nothing bad. And Mark and I agree about more than we disagree, and we're not going to fight anymore on camera. So you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Absolutely. And wait a second. What did I lose? Oh, there. There. Okay. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.